Alright, in this video we're going to get a bit nuts. We're going to be talking about, I think, 119, I think I just counted, Marvel movies. Let's see, double check. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 59, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 81, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 90, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 20, about 120 titles, give or take. So let's see. I showed what the titles were in my previous video, so I don't need to do that again. But in last place, being the only one of all of these I have not seen all the way through. In last place, we have The Gifted Season 1. I've only seen the first episode so far. That's going to change when I go through watching all these. I'm not sure when it takes place, so I'm going to pretend it's in 2017 since that's when it came out. It's one of the X-Men shows, as you can tell from the X and the I right there. So that's our last place entry. Let's see here. So I believe that I'm gonna say that's 120. In 120 or in 119, 118, and 117 is gonna be all three Darkman movies. The best of the bunch. In 117th place is gonna be Darkman 1 as my favorite of the bunch because it has Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson's really cool. So there we go. So in 116th place, 116th. Let's see. We're gonna put Thor: Love and Thunder. They went too silly with it. Screaming Goats. Van Damme split kicks. A lot of weird directions were gone in that movie. So that's 16th place. In 115th place, just because I haven't seen the entire series and only seen one season's worth, is going to be Legion, another one of those X-Men shows. I believe this one's about a schizophrenic character. Schizophrenic telepath. Doesn't sound like a good combo to me. But there you go. And I'm also going to pretend that this one takes place in 2017 because that's when it came out. But I don't know if that's the case or not. So that's 115th place. In 114th, I'm gonna put Luke Cage season 1. I like the second season better. I think in the first season he ends up fighting his like brother or something. There's half brother. I don't want to see family members fighting. So yeah, Cage. What else? Let's see, that was 115 and 114th place. Gotta try and keep these in the right order. We're gonna go Rendell Dark Vengeance. This is one that I actually haven't seen all the way through yet, so my placement for it could change. I also don't know if it's technically Marvel. Same with Valentine the Dark Avenger. I just have them both under Marvel because she's the Dark Avenger, and it seems like these two would be connected somehow. So there we go. And 113th or 14th, I think 113th. We're gonna put X-Men 1.5 because I thought it would be like an extended cut, and it isn't. It just has a bunch of behind the scenes stuff and a bunch of other extras, but it's not like an extended cut of the movie. So that was a bit disappointing. But yeah, that's that. You'll find that I put X-Men 1 actually higher on the list than 1.5 because I actually like X-Men 1 quite a bit. But let's see here. That's not where it's going to stay. But up next is going to be Blade: House of Chthon. I don't really have much or anything against House of Chthon, but it's not actually a movie. It's a TV show pilot. So calling it a 4-film collection doesn't really ring true. And yeah, it's a pilot to a good show though. The show itself is it even up here? It is, okay. So we'll get to Blade again shortly, so I'm just going to set this back on the stack here. So that's, I think, 113th. In 112th place, we're putting Madam Web. The visual effects worked for me, but the story fell apart. I like the spider-themed villain. I thought that was a nice little detail, little thing in there. But yeah, I'll be revisiting that movie when I get to 2003 in the timeline here. What's next? In 112th, we're gonna put Howard the Duck because it's wacky and if you've seen Howard the Duck, you'll know how it's wacky. Just a weird George Lucas property. Yeah, weird stuff going on there. In 111th place is going to be the remake of Adventures in Babysitting. First of all, I don't think green hair looks good, and one of the characters in this has green hair. Unless you're the Joker, you shouldn't have green hair, in my opinion. But it has a bunch of adventure stuff that you would expect from something with adventure right there in the name. But yeah, just green hair doesn't look good, in my opinion, at least. And 110th is in 110th place, I'm going to put the extended cut or director's cut of Daredevil, the movie. The theatrical cut will be higher up, or actually no, the theatrical cut is lower than the director's cut. My bad. So I believe 111th. Yeah, and 111th is the theatrical cut of Daredevil. In 110th is going to be the original Adventures in Babysitting. Not because it's a bad movie, but because it doesn't pop like a bunch of the other Marvel properties here. Let's see. In 109th place, we're going to put, let's see, not that. We're going to put, oh, this is tough. In 110th place, let's get it out of the way, I guess. We're going to put Big Hero 6 in 110th. Not to say it's a bad movie. It's just the only Marvel-esque thing about it is it has a Stan Lee cameo. And it's based on a Marvel comic. But, yeah. I'd like to see a sequel. We'll put it that way. I want to see a sequel to this. Because, yeah. Let's see here. That was 110th, I think. So 109th is going to be Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Oddly enough, I like Fan Four Stick more than I like Rise of the Silver Surfer because they did Galactus dirty in this by making him a storm cloud. Why? 20th Century Fox, just you could have done so much better with that. So, yeah. In 108th place is going to be Fan Four Stick. Because I like it more than Rise of Silver Surfer, but only slightly. They never even actually say Fantastic Four in this. So, yeah. So this came out in 2015. So that was 108th place, or no, 109th place. In 108th place, I'm gonna put Spider-Man 2.1. They took out one of my favorite lines in the movie in this version. They took out the part where the pizza shop owner or boss man says "goo" like that, and so I was like, you gotta have that part in there, man. Come on. So they took that out. It was like, really? Why? Why would you edit that part out? Instead, in that version, he just says "go" instead of emphasizing it like you should. In 107th place, we're going to put the extended edition of Fantastic Four 1 with Chris Evans. So the theatrical cut, I think, is better than the extended cut once again. But this does add some interesting details into it. So good job on that. In 106th place, I'm gonna put Morbius. The story, once again, wasn't as polished as it could have been. But the visual effects were quite good, again. It pains me to put a lenticular case in the bottom, or not even in the top 100. It's in 107. But still a pretty decent movie, though. I imagine it's probably set in 2022, the year it came out. So, yeah. In 105th place, we're going to put Eternals. And this is a movie that would have worked so much better as a series. It just lends itself to a series a lot better than it does a movie. Because they have so many characters they got to introduce and give justice to, and they aren't able to do that in a 157-minute runtime. They just weren't able to do certain characters justice. They do have some really cool outfits, though, right there. So, cool outfits don't make for a great movie. And it's in sore need of a follow-up to develop more of the characters. So, there you go. In 104th place, we're going to put the theatrical cut of Fantastic Four 1. A great introduction to the Fantastic Four characters. And Chris Evans as the Human Torch has returned, albeit briefly. And lots of fun right there. In 103rd place, we have, where is it? Here we go. 104th place, we have Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance. It's both a sequel and kind of a reboot at the same time, because it feels like it's a brand new story, like it doesn't pick up where this one left off. So, Yeah, there we go. This under here. Wait for more 2012 properties. In 102nd place, we're going to have the extended cut of Ghost Rider 1. Honestly, I think the theatrical cut was just fine. I don't think it really needs this extended cut. However, in 101st place is going to be the theatrical cut. Not that it does anything wrong or anything like that. It's just it could have fleshed out certain scenes a little bit more. Let's see what else is next, or what's next here. And in the 100th place is going to be Dark Phoenix. This was Fox's second attempt at the Dark Phoenix saga story, and I think they pulled it off better with Last Stand than they did here. So yeah, that this one's also set in the 80s, I think, when Last Stand is set close to, if not in 06, I think. So Dark Phoenix, still a good movie, just not good enough to be better than in 100th place. In 99th place, we're going to put X-Men Origins. The claws do look really cartoony in this one, but I think something that should have carried over from this is Deadpool with heat vision and teleportation. He can teleport in his game, so why not keep the teleportation? I don't know. And because I haven't seen them, I'm surprised these made it as high in the list as they have. In 98th and 97th place, so in 98th is going to be the first Captain America here, and in 97th place we're going to put the second one. I haven't seen either of them, so that could change. They could go way back higher or like lower in the list, but for now, that's where they are. I probably should have excluded those, to be honest, but I didn't. Definitely not having seen them is going against it. In 96th place is going to be Agent Carter Season 2. The season finale, which ended up being the series finale, left with a cliffhanger that should have led into a third season and hasn't. It could still, but it hasn't. So that's disappointing. Hopefully the MCU is working on addressing that. In 95th place, we're going to put X-Men First Class. Where the heck did... Oh. In 94th place, we're going to put X-Men Apocalypse. I like the direction they were going with this a little bit more than this, and this has a really cool slow motion scene that I really enjoy. So, okay. In 93rd place, I believe, we're going to put Blade the series. Only one season. and a very good season at that. I thought it would have been better if they stuck with Wesley Snipes, but I don't think he wanted to do an entire show, and they might have fired him after Blade Trinity because that was, I guess, quite a disaster or something. But yeah, so 2008 came out. Okay. All right. In 92nd place, I believe, we're going to put all 3 of these volumes of X-Men. And actually, we're going to do 92nd for the 4th, 91st for this, and 90th for Volume 1. Volume 1 was my favorite of the bunch. These are set in the 90s, so I need to go before X-Men 1. Try to keep these things in the same order that I had them in to begin with. And I should probably clear off space on the desk because the bed is not a stable structure, as I found out yesterday with my DC video. But moving forward, in 89th place, we're going to put the theatrical cut for Punisher with Thomas Jane. I like the extended version more, and you'll see just how much more when I show where it's placed. This one, I believe, came out in 04, which put it about right there. Wobbly, oh boy. In 88th place is going to be X-Men The Last Stand, which I mistakenly got 2 Blu-rays for. But that's okay. It did the Dark Phoenix story better. I believe it would be set in 2006. If that's not correct, let me know down in the comments section. But that is what I think is the case. In 86th place, it is going to be Wakanda Forever. It got dealt a dirty hand because its star tragically passed away before they were able to start filming it, and so they had to completely rework it to account for Chadwick Boseman's passing. So just because it got dealt a dirty hand is why it's lower than it should be. It is actually a really good movie though. It introduced Ironheart, which was cool. I need to finish the Ironheart series or season or whatever it ends up being. And let's see, that was 87. In 86th place, we have the director's cut of Daredevil. Still set in 2003, I think. So that goes below Punisher. Timeline over here. In 85th place is going to be the theatrical cut of Elektra, which is the only version I've seen. In 84th place is going to be X-Men 2. And I like how they added Nightcrawler and the lady with the adamantium fingernails. I thought they were both really cool additions to the series. I liked how they added Pyro into it at this point. Looks like this is set in 03 as well. gonna put it right above Daredevil. It's kind of hard to keep track of when something takes place if they don't explicitly say when it happens. Also in 2003, in 82nd place is going to be 2003 Hulk with Eric Bana playing the title role. One thing I did like about this version of the Hulk movie is that you could tell that the madder Hulk got, the bigger and stronger he became, and that's how it should be with Hulk. So that was a nice touch. Not nice enough to put it higher in the ranking than 82nd place, but a nice touch all the same. In 81st place is going to be Blade Trinity, because I heard there was quite a bit of drama during the making of that movie, with Wesley Snipes being kind of a jerk. So let's see. In 80th place, we're going to put Jessica Jones Season 1. I like Season 2 better. It seems to have a more compelling villain. Even though I don't like seeing family members fight, it was quite interesting seeing Jessica Jones go up against her mother in this season, as opposed to the not-so-purple Man with David Tennant. This needs to go below Luke Cage, because I think it came out first. And Luke Cage spun out into his own series. In 80th place is going to be Doctor Strange, the first one. Nothing wrong with Doctor Strange. It just I just like 79 of these other titles more. Simple as that. I believe this is set in 2016. Am I right? I think so. It's definitely not set in 2019. That would be during the blip, and this is well before the blip. So, for those of you who don't know what the blip is the time between 2018 and 2023 when Thanos had snapped away half of the universe. That is the blip. I would like to see more projects set during the blip, honestly. I think that's an unexplored area that they need to explore. In 79th place is going to be the Incredible Hulk. Although I do really like this green Blu-ray case for it. That is awesome right there. Set in 2008, I believe, along with Iron Man's 1 and 2. So, 2008, I'm going to put it above the series. And I'm going to move this stack over here where it's a little more stable, because that is a lot of movies and I don't want them tipping over. There we go. Okay. So that was 89th place, I believe. Yes. In 88th place, we're going to put Moon Knight. I would like to see a season 2, and hopefully they make a season 2, because this is just a really good show. It doesn't really fit the tone of the rest of the MCU, but it's not really supposed to, because I imagine it's probably set in an alternate universe and not the 616, even though it never actually says that is the case. It kind of feels that way. So, yeah. I'd say that one takes place after Wakanda Forever. Supposedly all 3 Venom movies take place between 2018 and 19. But in Let There Be Carnage, Venom goes forward to like 2024 after the events of No Way Home, but then goes right back to the past and for Venom: The Last Dance, and like, which is supposedly set in 2019 or something like that. So I'm gonna say that those do take place in the not all in the same year, even though they actually do take place in the same year. Moving on. In 87th place, we have X-Men, the first one here. And I need to figure out where. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. So many titles. And we're about a half an hour in, and we still have a lot of ground to cover. Where did I put? There we go. Let's scoot these over here because I need to get these guys. In 86th place is going to be Iron Man 3, and in 85th place is going to be Iron Man 2. And notice only one placement separates these. I liked Iron Man 2 a bit better because I think Whiplash was a better villain than the false Mandarin. And even Aldrich Killian claiming to be the Mandarin was pretty lame. We got the proper Mandarin in Shang-Chi, but yeah. So there's those. Put these down here. In 84th place is going to be Punisher Warzone. I liked the original Thomas Jane Punisher extended cut more than I liked Warzone. Although this is a really good movie, and I believe this is the version of Punisher that Blade got that bazooka from in Deadpool and Wolverine. So there you go. And I believe this is, yep, 2008. All right. 2008 was a busy year for Marvel, I guess. In 83rd place is going to be Blade 2. I thought Blade 2 was alright. They had an interesting new villain with the vampire variant type character they introduced. But I didn't think there was enough action in there. It had a lot of action, don't get me wrong. Just not quite enough action. Put these back down here. Ooh, don't fall, please. In 82nd place is going to be The Wolverine, which I believe is set in 2013. Because I think the future portions of Days of Future Past are 2014. Or no, they're in the 2020s. I'm going to stick with this being 2013 because that's when it came out. I need to double check when this came out. This was 2012, so there we go. Okay. Here we go. In 81st place is going to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1. This is a show that I feel like it got better as it went along. They were trying to figure out what to do with this in the first season, I feel like. But yeah, I would call this one MCU adjacent because after a while it kind of diverged from the MCU's timeline when Thanos happened because they didn't want to dust off half of their cast in the finale. So they kind of did their own thing at that point. In 80th place is going to be something that led into a really good movie, but wasn't all that well executed as a show, and that is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I did thoroughly enjoy Brave New World. I believe this one would be set in 2022. Or no, it'd have to be 2023 because that's the end of Blip. So I think 2023 or 24 is when this one occurs, which I think has it occur below in between Eternals and Wakanda forever. Yeah. In 80th place, because it doesn't really feel like an X-Men movie, but it was supposed to be the last of the Fox X-Men movies, is The New Mutants. Good story, good characters, bizarre final villain, giant nightmare bear. I would have liked to see a Colossus cameo, since the blonde girl there is his sister. But all in all, I enjoyed it. I believe this one's set in like 2025 or 26, whereas Logan is 2029. So it happens ahead of Moon Knight, I believe. In 80th place, we're going to put Thor the Dark World. I'll go ahead and get that out of here, and I'll take out the first one as well. So in 81st place is going to be Thor the Dark World. It is a pretty bland movie with a really boring villain. They wanted to use Hela in this, but I think for some reason they weren't allowed to. In 80th place is going to be the original Thor, and you'll see that I'm a lot nicer to Thor Ragnarok because that's a phenomenal Thor movie right there. But yeah, so we'll get to Thor Ragnarok higher up in our list here. In, let's see, 79th place is going to be Valentine the Dark Avenger. I like her costume there. And it looks like all three of these characters are villains, and they're all wearing masks. The chances of someone being evil wearing a mask is 1-to-1. It's almost a dead certainty. If someone's wearing a mask, they have to be evil, unless they're Spider-Man or Deadpool. Unless you're Spider-Man or Deadpool, if you're wearing a mask, you're probably evil or up to no good. That could be hoax-fed bias. I call it a hoax-demic because there's nothing real about it other than it existing. But moving on. In 78th place, we have Daredevil Season 2. This has a definitive portrayal for the Punisher with what's the guy's name? Jon Bernthal. The way they portrayed the Punisher in this season is the best way that they've portrayed him to date. I look forward to see what they do with him in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But for now, this is the best the Punisher has been. This is set in 2017 as well. I think it happened in between Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not entirely certain on that. Where are they? In 77, no, 78? In 78th place, or 77th, whichever one we're at, is going to be Spider-Man 3. They could have handled Venom himself better. I thought they nailed Black Suit Spider-Man, but Venom should have been handled better. But Sam Raimi didn't even want to use Venom. So that's why it wasn't handled all that well. So yeah, we'll come back to these shortly. In 86th place, 86 is S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. In 2015. So I need to adjust things here. Oh boy. Four Stick and Wolverine, I believe. I can resort these downstairs if I need to. I think Thor Love Thunder goes around here somewhere below. There we go. That feels right. Okay. I feel bad having a Spider-Man movie so low in the ranking like that. In I think 77th, no, 75th. In 75th place, we're gonna put Guardians Volume 2. I don't think Guardians Volume 2 did anything abruptly wrong. I think it just had too many plot points that they didn't get to beyond just being like, oh hey, here's a plot point. So yeah. In 74th place, even though it has a really snazzy red case here, is going to be Black Widow. I was disappointed that the blue 4K case was not red. Why did they do that? I don't know. But all in all, good movie. Love the red case. So that's giving it props. And I thought Taskmaster could have been better, even if they hadn't revealed that, even if they hadn't revealed that it was just like a puppet instead of an actual like mercenary, would have been better, honestly. So there you go. I want to know what was Steve Rogers doing between Civil War and Infinity War. Tell the Nomad story. You have the copy. You have the trademark for it. Come on, let's do it. In 73rd is going to be Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't like the way Electro looked, but I liked the characterization they gave him. I think Oscorp looks a lot like Stark Tower in these, which means they probably use the same structural type building look or like building plan for it or something. It's like you take Avengers Tower, remove the helipad, and you got Oscorp. That's how it looks. In 71st is going to be, not the Avengers, Age of Ultron. In 71st place is going to be Age of Ultron. I like the Avengers more than Age of Ultron. I do like the character of Ultron, and I love how they introduced my favorite female Avenger, the Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron. I wish they hadn't killed Quicksilver, but they had an agreement with Fox that they could use Quicksilver while the MCU used Scarlet Witch. So I understand why they went that direction and killed Quicksilver, even though I think Aaron Taylor Johnson did better as Quicksilver than Evan Peters did, but Evan Peters had a really awesome slow-mo sequence in X-Men Apocalypse, so I'm not going to complain too much there. Let's see. What else? In 70th place, I'm going to put what am I going to put? Oh, yeah. Agent Carter Season 1 is going to take up 70th place. They had a lot of cool ideas in this season. I think they executed them all pretty well. I just would have liked it to have a little bit more of Tony's dad, Howard. I would have liked to see more of Howard Stark in Season 1. Seems like he got more screen time in Season 2, which I liked less than Season 1, weirdly enough. Oh boy. Oh, this is heavy. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. We're all good. Okay. All right. In 69th place, I'm going to put the theatrical cut of Spider-Man 2. I'm one of those people that liked the original Spider-Man more than Spider-Man 2. So yeah, in 69th place is going to be Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. I'm just going to set this here for now. In 68th place, I'm going to put Quantumania. It had some elements that I thought were really cool, but the story wasn't as large as I feel like it should have been. I like the King the Conqueror stuff. I wish they were still able to go forward with King the Conqueror. Maybe they'll recast him for the Mutant Saga, and that would be cool. Because they don't have to use Jonathan Majors. They could use anybody for it. They could even have Sam Jackson do it, even though he's Nick Fury. But, yeah. Samuel L. Jackson would do well as a Kang variant, I think. In 67th place is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming. Not that it does anything wrong. It kind of messes with the timeline a bit without any time travel elements. Because it says that it takes place 8 years after the Battle of New York, which is concretely 2012. Which would mean, Thanos came in 2018. If this is 8 years after the Battle of New York in 2012, it would be in 2020 or in 2020 during the blip. And it was not during the blip because Spider-Man got dusted in the blip, so he wouldn't have been alive during said blip. So it does something confusing with the timeline like that, and that holds it back a little bit. In 66th place, gosh, I wish I could put a Star Wars movie here, is Black Panther. It got a little too political for me. In 65th place is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't think they fully realized the Ghost character until Thunderbolts. But it was a good introduction to that character. I liked how at the end Hank, Hope, and Janet all got dusted, leaving Ant-Man stranded. Lenticular. Very cool. But yeah. In 64th place is gonna be Shang-Chi. It leaves you wanting more, and we haven't gotten more yet. And this one, I believe, is set in 2021, which would be before Morbius, I believe. In 70, or no, not 70, 60, that was 64. In 63rd place is going to be Once Upon a Deadpool. This is the PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2. And I think the super duper cut is better than this. And the theatrical cut is better than this. I do like the Fred Savage moments, though. Those are pretty good. But yeah. In 62nd place is going to be Winter Soldier. I like how they brought back Bucky in this. It feels like a proper bring back moment. I thought they did well explaining, like, oh, he's been mind controlled all this time and gone on several murder missions. I thought they handled that all pretty well. I think it takes place before the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, just barely, or maybe simultaneous with them. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, in 61st place is Guardians Volume 3. I don't think they handled Gamora all that well in this. And the main, or the big bad of the movie, the High Evolutionary, is a truly despicable person, or character. I liked Adam Warlock in Cosmo. I like how Drax was able to communicate with a bunch of kids, and they're just like, why didn't you tell us that, or why didn't you tell us that you could communicate with them? And he's just like, why didn't you ask? I thought that was fun. It's going to fall over, I feel like. To fall over. In 60th place is going to be Multiverse of Madness, because it seemed to have ignored the growth that Wanda had in WandaVision, where she was perceived as kind of a bad guy for practically imprisoning and torturing an entire town with her fantasy world. This just made her full-on villain again. I didn't really like that they did that, because I don't think the Scarlet Witch is a villain as far as the MCU is concerned. So I don't think she works well as a villain. And I'm going to put that above. Actually, I think it's supposed to go above Wakanda Forever. I'll have to look on Disney Plus to put these guys back, because I don't recall when these things are taking place. I should have taken a picture of when they take place before I started this. But then I think we must be higher in the ranking than I thought. In what I believe is 59th place is going to be Amazing Spider-Man 1. Solid introduction. Loved the lizard. The suit in this, the spider suit in this, is really good. The character interactions. I feel like Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield have really good chemistry, and I would like to see that chemistry return with a Spider-Gwen. But yeah. Okay. In 56th place, we're going to put Thor Ragnarok. And not that Ragnarok does anything wrong. It doesn't. I just like other ones a little bit more. So there we go. Go. Okay. We just passed the hour mark here. In, let's see, 58th place, although I'm not sure if there's 50 plus titles left, actually, but we'll go with it. In 58th place, we have Spider-Man 1. I do like it more than Spider-Man 2, oddly enough, but only a few places more. In 55th, I believe, is going to be Ant-Man. It's just a little heist film, harmless. Introduces Darren Cross, who becomes MODOK. Spoiler alert. Take these off here. There we go. That seems safer. In 55th place is going to be the Marvels. You'll notice we haven't gotten to Captain Marvel yet, because I like Captain Marvel quite a bit more than I liked the Marvels. Monica Rambeau is, I think, supposed to be Photon in this, but they don't actually call her Photon. Miss Marvel is handled quite well. There's a lot of flirting kitties that are adorable. It probably could have done an extra 20 minutes or so. And I would have liked it if they spent more time in that X-Men universe that Monica got stuck in. I can see why they didn't spend more time there, but they should have, I feel like. I'll be double checking the timeline order on this because I think I've messed this up a little bit. In 54th place is going to be the original Blade. Right here. I still want to try and triple format all three actual movies for Blade 1, 2, and Trinity. But I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. All right. In 53rd place is going to be the original Iron Man. It didn't have the weight of the rest of the MCU. Also, this is a really cool slipcover. It has Tony Stark on the case and then Iron Man on the slipcover. I think that's really cool. Actually, I think I need to put the Iron Man trilogy up here more because the third one is after the Battle of 2012 or the Chitauri invasion. In 52nd place, we're going to put the original Avengers. This was groundbreaking when it came out because they had never done a team-up movie to this extent, or really at all, except for X-Men stuff until this point. And we've gotten so many team-up movies since. Some have been great, some haven't been too hot. But yeah. Put this one below Iron Man as well. In 51st place is going to be the extended cut for Thomas Jane Punisher. It has 17 minutes added into it that weren't there before. And I think it needed that little bit of extra time. So I'm glad that it got the extra time. It sucks that that's only available on DVD for some reason. But in 50th place, kicking off the top 50, I think. There's no way there's still 50 titles here, though. But we'll go with it. In 50th place, we're going to put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I did say I like Volume 1 best of the bunch, I think. The Guardians Holiday Special would be first for my Guardians ranking, because I like the Guardians Holiday Special more than the original, or than the first movie. In 49th place is going to be the theatrical cut of X-Men Days of Future Past. I like the Rogue cut a little bit more because I liked Rogue in the original trilogy. This one I believe is set in the 70s mostly, which is over here in this stack here. I'm just going to set it off to the side over here on the book. In 48th place is going to be Captain America, the First Avenger. I thought the first part where he was like scrawny Steve Rogers was kind of lame. And I didn't really like the Star Spangled Man with a Plan skit that they did. But the latter half of the movie was really good. And that started the timeline here, being the furthest back into the past that we go, as far as Marvel's concerned. Of course, if you're combining the Marvel and the DC timelines, Wonder Woman 2017 is set during World War I, whereas that was World War II. In 57th place is going to be the Rogue cut. I do like it more than the theatrical cut, but only 2 placements more. How many titles do I have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we're actually supposed to be in the top 16 now. So in 15th place is going to be the original Deadpool. Good origin story told out of order. I like that they went ahead and did that for this. In 14th place is going to be Venom: The Last Dance, even though that is a killer steelbook right there. So cool. Look at that. Wow. Epic. But it only earns it in 14th place. And I believe it would be set after Quantumania. In 13th place is its predecessor, Let There Be Carnage. I wish they hadn't killed Carnage in the end. Sure, kill Cleves Cassidy, but Carnage, come on now. Carnage is a long-standing villain. He needs to be a recurring bad guy. Maybe they'll bring a version of Carnage back for the MCU, hopefully. In 13th place is going to be Spider-Man: Far From Home, which I believe would be set before both of those. Cool. Okay. Let's put this over here as well. Okay. In 12th place is going to be Into the Spider-Verse. It introduced a really good idea, really good concept, and then they delivered more of the multiverse stuff that you want in the sequel, which we'll get to shortly. This one, I believe, is set in 2018. So, go right there on top of the page. In 12th place is going to be Kraven the Hunter. I thought they did really well with this movie, hence it's in 12th place. It's not top 10 material, but it's in the top 15 at least, which I believe is fitting for it. There was some really weird dialogue, like they were talking about how, oh, I'm actually familiar with bows and arrows because I went to summer camp. And then that comes up again where someone has an arrow through their eye socket and Kraven just says, that must have been one heck of a summer camp. I thought that was a really comedic moment. In 11th place is going to be the theatrical cut of Deadpool 2. Where the heck is on Deadpool? There it is. In 11th place, or was that 11th? In 10th place, I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, in 10th place, or no, 11th. No, it's 11th. It's 11th place. My bad. Is going to be Captain Marvel. I wish I could put this in my top 10, but it just didn't quite make it into the top 10 like it should. And this is set in the 90s, which means I need to put it in between X-Men Volume 4 and Blade. There we go. Such a tall stack of movies. Oh my gosh. That stack is so tall right there. So these next movies I couldn't recommend highly enough. That is, in 10th place we have Civil War, which is set before Deadpool, I believe. Yeah, just leave those there. In 9th place is Loki season 1 and 2. I only have season 1, so that's mainly what I'm ranking here. But season 2 would also tie with 9th place. It'd probably be a little bit higher with just MCU properties, but with the multiverse titles factored in, it sits comfortably at 9th place. It's going to go right here because I think it's happened before Shang-Chi. In 8th place is going to be Venom, the first one. Which I think would happen leading up to the blip, if I'm not mistaken about that. This video is proving to be longer than my DC one that I did yesterday, which makes sense because there's probably a lot more titles I'm talking about here. Speaking of DC, I started watching the Wonder Woman series last night, and it seems like that's set in 2000 or in World War I as well. Anyway, I also watched Swamp Thing last night, and the movie, and that's set in 82. So, in 7th place is Infinity War. The ending with a bunch of my favorite heroes getting killed off temporarily holds it back. In 7th place is Deadpool 2, the Super Duper Cut, which has 15 minutes added to it, I guess, if you say so. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same runtime on the packaging, but whatever. Anyways, moving on. In 5th place is Endgame. Actually, I'm going to move Loki over here. There we go. In 4th place is Logan. Very depressing movie, but necessary to watch if you want to understand Deadpool and Wolverine fully. So, hold on. There we go. Okay. In, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4th place is WandaVision, which officially makes it my favorite of the MCU shows, at least that I own. Love the song Agatha All Along. I wish it had reappeared in the show Agatha All Along, but it didn't. That's sad. I have to double check quite a few of these things. 3rd place is going to be No Way Home. For a long time, No Way Home was in 1st place. Then it got dethroned by Across the Spider-Verse, which is now our runner-up, is Across the Spider-Verse. So yeah. But coming in at number 1, no shock, I would imagine, Deadpool and Wolverine. I just put Deadpool or Wolverine's roast of Deadpool in my story, my novel I've been writing. Of course, I censored it, but it's in there. And there you go. That is an hour and 18 minutes worth of a multiversal Marvel ranking with a couple of maybe they're Marvel, maybe they're not things in there. Big Hero 6, Randall Dark Vengeance, and Valentine the Dark Avenger. I'm not sure if those are actually Marvel properties or not. Big Hero 6 is based on a Marvel comic, so it could be a Marvel property. But anyways, that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you made it all the way through this video, put the code or the code phrase Deadpool and Wolverine Rox in the comments section below to prove that you made it all the way through this hour and 19-minute magnum opus. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if you made it all the way through this video, put Deadpool and Wolverine Rox with an X for X-Men, obviously, in the comments. And use the and symbol like the title does. So I want to see that and symbol, the ampersand, in it. And I think that's the first time I've said ampersand in one of my videos. Now I've said it twice. There you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Now I gotta spend about 2 hours putting these all back. Fun!